What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today it is time for Granblue Fantasy Versus. So it's actually been a while since I've uploaded anything about Granblue. I think I haven't really talked about the game since the Percival drop, mostly because a lot of the new character announcements, I was hyped for them, but I haven't gotten to play them, so I can't really comment on just, oh my god, look at this trailer specifically designed to make this character look cool. But this weekend, though, is Granblue Fantasy Festival in Japan, and for the first time, we have all 11 characters available for play, and thankfully, the Granblue English Twitter account has been uploading matches. So these are 3 matches that I cherry-picked specifically because they only feature characters that I have not played. So we pretty much know what the original 6 do, right? So the only remaining characters were Zeta and Lowain, who are right here, Ladiva, Metera, and Vaserega. The nice thing about these characters is that they give the game a little bit more sauce, A lot of people in fighting games, most people have their preferred archetypes. Like some people like zoning, some people only play grapplers, some people only play big bodies, some people only play the Fei Long type. Everyone has a type. And even though the original 6 characters are good, they don't cover absolutely what everyone likes. So definitely one of the complaints I heard was just there's not a character for me, so the game's kind of boring, which makes sense. So I think now between these 11 characters, we have a good, nice spread of characters. That's pretty good. I'm pretty much going to start with Lowain. Lowain, he is probably one of the most unique characters in the game. He's a summon character, so he summons either the Robo Catalina or his actual homies, and he will throw them at you. He can run behind them. He has his moveset is mostly mid to close range, but he has pretty familiar normals to me. He has a couple of normals like Yosuke. He has the Slayer Teddy jumping in, lifting limbs like this. By the way, I hate moves that look like that, by the way. When characters are like this, I get tight. He has a move where he eats food, and I'm not sure if it's random or not, but he gains life and meter when he does it. There's the flail move. I really don't... Okay, flail moves, whatever. His supers are pretty unique too. In this match, he doesn't use the normal super. So the normal super, he just summons his bros, and he has super armor. The Yggdrasil super, I think it's called Primal. It's the Primal or whatever. Has super armor, and the really big thing is the super chip kills you, and it's the only one in the game that does it, and you can't kill him when he does it. You can't kill him. You can get him to 1 HP, but you can't kill him. That's kind of a big deal. Besides that, his main game plan is going to be, you set up, you run behind it, he's got pretty good buttons. You can't totally lay him out without projectiles, because then he's going to heal and gain meter. Him gaining meter means he gets access to his supers, and his supers are good. Pretty strong game plan, I would say. So Zeta is a little bit different. She is a mid-range rush-down type. You're going to see her in the next match. I know I didn't get to talk about her that much this match. She's a mid-range rush-down type, and she has a pretty important thing in the game, which is, so mobility. The game is not fast. So actually, side note, they made a small system change that I think affected the game a lot, where they just made more things self-knockdown. Kind of like Street Fighter 4. Once I watched Street Fighter 4 a little bit, I was like, oh, this change makes sense. Basically, special moves generally knock down, but there are a bunch of specific moves that are always hard downs, right? So the game is not at least, Guilty Gear or BlazBlue Fast. It's a little bit slower, and there's no air dashes, so jump, in a Street Fighter context, jumping is pretty committal, but in this game, and both of these characters have a tool like this, if you can move again when you're in the air, it's a strong tool. And she has a move, it's kind of like John Talbane from Vampire Savior, where she goes, she moves in a pattern, you can control which way she goes. She also has a bunch of Chun-Li-esque moves. She has a rushing move where she hits multiple times. She got the Chun-Li stomp you see right there. She does have projectiles too, but it seems to me you're mostly going to stay, if not point blank, just outside point blank range, and you're going to bully with her lance stabs and mobility. Another big thing about the game is that the screen is pretty pretty big, but most characters have special moves. Like if you hit your target combo, and as a side note, another side note, auto combos, yeah, but honestly they're just target combos like Street Fighter, KOF. But if you get one of your auto combo or target combos into special move, you will send them flying into the corner pretty much. So even if they can like tech, at least you get that space to get their back to the corner. So a lot of characters, like they'll play that mid-screen game, right? Get a decent hit, send you flying to the corner, and then try to really enforce their win condition. Zeta, of course, between like her hitting you and comboing you, like that lunge move, like Talmain, I don't really know what to call it. She really has good corner carry, which matters for her because she's a rushdown character. I also kind of want to talk about her parry. So I think she can kind of enforce offense and overextending with the parry. I don't know if it's frame 1 or not. So Lowain's is frame 1, but his is an EX. Hers probably isn't because it's not EX, but in the context of rushdown, it'll definitely be pretty good. Mind games, conditioning, stuff like that. If you're into that type of rushdown, she will definitely be for you. I'm pretty interested in trying her, but not as a main, just to see like how strong she will be, I guess. Now with Vaserega, this is not LK land. I do not usually play big bodies. He's like big body, armor. I believe when he summons the flames, he puts armor on himself. I'm not gonna lie, when they showed all the moves for all the characters, I didn't really look at his moves because I was like, man, okay, let's be real. You are not picking this character, so don't waste your time. But you can see him like the combination of everything. Like he's a big body, the black flames, glowing red eyes. It's definitely not LK land, but it might be your type of character. And he does have some really good tools. So of course, besides the armor and the big normals, he can change his air momentum with a dive. We saw it a couple times earlier. And he has a command grab. So in this game, having a command grab is definitely a very direct way of enforcing offense because this game also has a block button. So the block button, where I'm at right now, if the block button is, one, if it wasn't in the game, left-right mix-up would have been out of control a long time ago. Hard knockdown into dash, roll on your body, left-right. Lancelot just jumps, does dive kick, left-right. Any character that has multiple hitting moves, like I think Lowain, when he goes like this, right, he can hit you in the front and travel to the back. Maybe there would be auto-correct, auto guard to protect you, but easy, clear, left-right. Most characters have really big cross-ups. It's really easy to set up cross-ups. Now, there are a couple of downsides of using the block button, though. So one of them is that you can't move at all. So movement is locked to the block button. So what you do is you'll do sidestep or roll. Those are assigned to the block button. The other thing is when you tech throws, it's always a late tech. So you take a little bit of damage, and the attacker will have frame advantage. So with Vaserega and also Ladiva, who's coming up in the next match, them having command grabs and by extent Percival having command grab, they have a way to enforce the grab where in which other characters can't. Like you can't tech command grabs, so you have to just kind of take that. In Percival's case, he can combo off his, which is really good. Vaserega, I don't actually know. I think his is just hard knockdown. And Ladiva, of course, is SPD, right? So you just knock them down. So these are like the last two characters that we haven't gotten to play yet. And so Metera as a character I really want to play, so I'll talk about her second. Ladiva as a character I'm not that interested in playing, but she pretty much is the grappler function. She has a whole suite of moves, right? She has your SPD, she has an anti-air grab like Heat Knuckle, Atomic Collider, Android 16, like she has all those. And she has an air versus air grab like Broly, right? So she has the whole suite of moves. So my main concern with her, so first of all, the assumption is all the grabs are hard knockdowns, so her offense will be pretty good. But my main concern with her is whether or not she has special moves that deal with zoning and not just system mechanics. So the system mechanics have, you have your roll and your sidestep, right? But they have their downsides too. So the sidestep is fast, but you don't move anywhere. You'll avoid the projectile, but you're not going to go anywhere. The roll, you travel forward, but it's kind of slow total duration. So if you're closer to the person who threw a fast projectile, they will recover first, and if not punish you, at least be advantaged. So if you're full screen, it's fine, but the closer you get, the harder it is to use. So if Ladiva doesn't have a move like Green Hand or something, and at least in this match I didn't see one, then it might be a little tough to deal with zoning, but the offense will clearly be really strong. And you'll see later, Ladiva's supers do a lot of damage. Like, this one's not going to really mean that much because it's going to kill. But in the last round, and I always have to pause it on this, because I can't wait to see all the characters' reaction to, like, getting kicked in the face. That's an amazing... that's an emote right there, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, so Ladiva's super, especially her Desperation super, does a lot of damage, and it comes up in the last round. Now, Metera, on the other hand, I really want to play this character, and I actually don't normally play zoners, but I figure in a game with no air dashing, playing a dedicated zoner might be good. She has the really important thing in this game, which is being able to move again in the air. She has a command jump that she can do whatever she wants. She has what a couple other characters have, right? So Lowain has this, Lancelot has this. It's a multi-hitting aerial that's overhead, so she should have 50-50s. She's got the traps you see there with the butterflies to control space. She has the whole suite of projectiles, like bow move that goes horizontal, anti-air bow, air versus ground bow, acid rain bow, which I think you could use for setups, which is pretty interesting. Her normals are great overall, and she has actually not my pet peeve in fighting games, which one of them is when they give zoners DPs. That really pisses me off, and she doesn't have a DP. She just has super, which is nice. I'm not gonna lie. Even if I'm playing her, it's nice that the zoner with projectiles does not have a DP. I'm not going to lie. Now, the main thing with her, I would say, besides the mobility, of course, and the screen control, is definitely going to be, I think she's going to be pretty technical, because one, setups with the acid rain, which I think they use in this round a little bit, and two is how to use the butterfly in neutral to control space, because you could kind of like lock out parts of the screen with the butterfly, which I find to be kind of interesting. So it's like she's got a good full screen game, obviously with the projectiles and stuff like that, and then if you get a knockdown, I'm assuming you can try to use either, if not the acid rain, then maybe the butterfly for setups and do like her either pretty big ground overhead or low, or you could try to do jump into hits or like land low, some kind of thing like that. I think it's kind of interesting. The other thing too, again, is that other characters are not that mobile, so for characters like Ladiva and Vaserega, you know, in my head I'm like, oh, I should use this character and fight them. Here's the super, by the way. This super is actually pretty stylish and cool, and a nice little touch is that she only pins you totally with a 3 count if you're going to die. Also does a ton of damage. I really don't want them to, like, one thing I'm really hoping they don't do is like, oh, like this character Ladiva can't get around projectiles, so let's make the Desperation super do a lot of damage so they can come back. Like, hopefully that's not the case, but like I said, we'll see. These guys that are playing, they're not the best players, and these characters are new, so they don't really know what they're doing. But the whole point is to just see the characters, see what they do, and start thinking about the new characters. So, if you have any questions about the game or the new characters, then definitely let me know in the comments. Like, if you feel like it, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.